So today is the second day of my trip through Croatia and we're gonna see Zadar. I visited Zadar on a Sunday, and the bells of churches rang throughout the day. Even if church bells are not my favorite thing in the world, I had to admit that they matched the vibe of Zadar's Old Town pretty well. My day started with a stroll through the old center, and I soon reached the waterfront, with its well-known tourist attractions. First, I saw the Sun Monument, a circle made out of solar cells, which reflects the sky in a beautiful way. Make sure to see it at night too. I didn't, because I didn't know that it lights after dark and produces a light show. And right next to it, the sea organ. So it's a really calm day. The sea is very chill, so you can't really hear the sea organ sing or play, but you can hear it a bit. Let's listen. You can tell that I went after the high season because all but one excursion booths were empty. The old town of Zadar is beautiful and full of history, as most places in Croatia are, to be honest. No wonder that this small country has 10 UNESCO heritage sites. So this was the Roman Forum. There's a cathedral near which I'm staying, right behind or in front of it. And there's also an archaeology museum, which I would normally go to see, but not today because it's so beautiful and warm and I want to stay outside. I'm gonna try to find the market. I hope it's still open to get some real Zadar vibes from there. I reached the market, but like most of the stands are already closed, even if it's like not even 11. But let's see what we get. So I'm gonna take a little tour of the city walls and see if I can get an interesting view from above. And then it's time for a short hotel break. I changed my mind, and before going to the hotel for a short break, I'm gonna cross the bridge to the new town, see a little bit around, and then go back to the hotel. The new town was definitely livelier and more crowded than the old town, which I found a bit strange. I turned around pretty quick because I wasn't feeling it at that time. I also had a nicer activity in mind. So after a short lunch break and rest at the hotel, I've decided to go to the beach. I'm gonna try to swim in the sea if I find a secure way to put my backpack somewhere. But for sure I'm gonna see a lighthouse that looks really interesting on Google Maps, and I hope it's as nice in reality too. So from what I saw from the taxi, I guess we're pretty much either outside Zadar or at the border of Zadar. We've been through some residential areas and now we're at a very small beach with the lighthouse and looks like a pretty fancy bar. I think it's safe to take a swim. I saw like at least 2 youths taking a swim, so the water is obviously fine. And there's not a lot of people on the beach. Like, beach is a bit of an overstatement. So I guess I'm gonna do it.
Doing fine. Yes. Yes. Okay, it's not warm. Oh my god, it's so good. I guess that's a better view of the lighthouse. I swam and got here in front of it. I'm not gonna cross the border because I don't think it's okay. Oh, a boat just passed and the waves are a bit high. But yeah, that's an adventure.
So I ended up making friends with a Croatian lady. I asked her if she can watch my bag while I go into the sea, and then we just started talking and it was so nice. I guess we talked for like an hour or so. She ended up bringing me back to the city with her car, which was also nice. I didn't have to wait for an Uber. And now I'm gonna try the only vegetarian or vegan, not sure, vegetarian or vegan restaurant in Zadar. I tried to make a reservation. They said they didn't take any today because the weather is unpredictable. I'm not sure I get it, but I will try, and I'll show you the dishes. And then it's finally time to sleep because tomorrow I have to wake up really early and catch a bus too. I'll tell you tomorrow. The Botanist is a newly opened plant-based restaurant in Zadar which combines Mediterranean cuisine with the love of animals. All their dishes are named after endangered species. I had the tomato soup as an appetizer and the beef Wellington, or better said, a beef Wellington, as a main course. The portion was huge and I was so sad that I couldn't finish it because it was delicious. Make sure to visit them, it's worth it. Also, this is not an ad.